Hello, I'm Steve Hermitage, and in this video I'm going to show you a really fun weekend project to create some light parabolas. Right, I have a torch here, and what I've done, I've put some masking tape just over the end, and I've coloured the masking tape in with a black felt tip pen, and then created a little hole in the end and taped a coloured gel over, and that's given me a nice coloured spot of light at the end of the torch. I've put some string on the torch, just fixed that on, and then although Mrs H doesn't know this yet, I've actually put a hook in our ceiling, and that's going to enable me just to hang the torch up here, there we go, and dangle it over my camera, and then I can move the torch around, just let it move very freely, and that's going to create these wonderful shapes. Okay, let's let the torch just dangle there for a moment, and let's have a look at the camera. I've got my 18 to 55mm kit lens on the camera, and I'm set at 18mm. Now that's giving me a very wide angle which will capture all of these shapes. I'm on ISO 400 and I'm at f5 to begin with, and that's going to give me a good starting point for the image. Now you can experiment, you might find that you need to change those settings as you go. Now I've also got this very nifty tripod here. I'm quite lucky it's enabled me just to angle the camera and point it upwards. And a good starting point again is to make sure that the lens and when the torch is still, this is all in line. So the centre spot is in the middle of the lens. Now I'm not going to do it now, but I'm going to lay on the floor in just a minute and just focus in on the spot of the light and just flick the lens over to manual, and that will make sure when I'm taking the shot that the camera doesn't try to autofocus and change the focus. Right, I've also got this is a cable release, and it's a really nice way of just being able to open the shutter for a bulb exposure. So I've set the shutter on bulb, and when I press the button the shutter opens and it just remains open until I let go of the button, and that's the bulb exposure. I just create as long as exposure as I want, really the time that it takes for the torch to move up here. Okay, what I'm going to do is also just give you some measurements of where we're at. So the camera is about 60 centimeters off the floor, and the distance between the lens and the bottom of the torch there is about 75 centimeters, and from the hook all the way down to the camera there is about 90 centimeters. Again, there's no hard and fast rules here, that's just what I'm using for these shots, if that's helpful. Okay, so it's a case now of switching the lights off and making sure it's pitch black. It's a case of pressing the button and then just letting the light do its bit by just moving it. Now I found a really good tip here to create some quite interesting shots. In the dark is just to blow on the torch, and that will just move the torch into a different place in the shot, and you get some really nice images that way. You can take those into Photoshop, just boost up the colours a bit using the levels tool, using saturation tool, and you can get some really wonderful, great fun images. Here are some of mine, and good luck with your